this whole rat race. I was in the rat race. I was in a rat race. In North America, I know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, the 401, the QW, the 403. You're just like...
Our highways were just there.
I know, it's just like every morning you're all going in and going, what's wrong with this picture?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we're all about leveling up, elevating, and living our absolute best lives. Today we are here at Zimbe Collection, owned by David Kibuuka here in Ntinda, and we're going to sit down and talk with him all about his move back, especially as a creative, and having experienced a different Uganda compared to now. So let's go check out his gallery and sit down and talk with him. Thank you so much for having us here today. Your showroom is gorgeous. I love all your pieces. So if you could tell the people who you are, what you do, a little introduction.
Thank you very much. My name is David Kibuuka, and I was born in Uganda and left Uganda in 1976 through Nairobi, Kenya 4 years, and then migrated to Canada in the West. I'm an artist by profession. I paint, I do animation, and I'm also a textile instructor in the Modern Batik technique.
Very talented at that. How long have you now been in Uganda?
Probably it's coming about to 4 years. By October, it should be 4 years in Uganda.
4 years, okay. How has it been, what was your driving force to move here as opposed to staying in Canada and living the life you've been used to for so long?
The driving force, I think, comes to winter.
That
was a very, very powerful motivation for me because, minus 20, minus 15, and around that, and 6 months to 7 months sometimes.
Yeah.
Winter was a great motivation for me to move back here.
Okay.
I have nothing wrong, anything to say about Canada. Canada is a very beautiful country.
Beautiful country.
Very beautiful country, but even the people who were born in Canada, they fly off to Florida just to get out of the snow. They call them the snowbirds.
Snowbirds,
exactly.
yes.
So they get out of and say, you know what, we're out of here much later.
Yeah.
They take off. So for me, when it reaches a certain age group, I kind of said, you know what, I'll rather swap this for the sun because I don't think I have the money to go to Florida to stay there for 6 months and then fly back to Canada and down.
Yes.
So, but there is a choice which I had that I was born in Uganda.
Yes.
And I was still a Ugandan.
Yes.
And I could always go back because my family was still in Uganda.
Yeah.
So it was easy for me to go and say, well, you know what, now let me try it and see how it works.
How it goes. 4 years later, you're good.
4 years later, I don't really regret that move because when I call my daughters or my friends in Toronto, they say they're freezing.
I know,
it's
oh my God.
So cold, minus 15, 20. I'm like, yeah, right, we're having sunshine.
We're
right
good.
Here.
Every day is good. Worst case is rain and it's not even that bad.
So that was a very strong indicator for me to shift. Yeah.
So you mentioned to me before that you had a showroom in California. Was that ever decided? Was that ever an option of being I could possibly be there and or it was always Uganda?
No. I had a showroom in Toronto.
Yes.
From 1990. Then there was a recession in the 90s around there. Then I'd gone to California and fell in love with Santa Monica, right on the beachfront.
Yes, it's
and
beautiful.
I decided that California was warm, it was hot.
Yes.
So I moved and opened up a gallery in 1992 in Santa Monica.
Okay.
And then the earthquake, of course, hit in 1994, packed up my stuff, came back to Toronto, and opened up a gallery still in Mississauga.
Yes.
And of course, I would have gone to LA, whatever, but I've been there.
And done it.
I kind of said, you know what, let me try Uganda because I was born there.
Yeah.
So let me try it and see how that works.
So you've always been chasing the warm weather, but home was home. You were let me just be home.
Yeah, home was home, and especially when I used to fly in and out. Because remember, I used to do a lot of fundraisers in Uganda.
Yes,
and also workshops within East Africa. So I would get on a bus and go to Rwanda, go to Tanzania, go to Kenya.
Yes.
And, especially a lot of international schools because they have the same curriculum like the schools in North America, especially high school.
Right.
So it was easy for me to check out East Africa, and I said, you know what? This looks like,
why am I not here?
And the time I flew here, it was during December, January,
Yes.
That's the Christmas season. So I used to fly here for 2 months. And I looked at that and I said, you know what? Something is not adding up here.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going back to. I'm going back in February, that's -20.
And that's the worst time, is February, January and February. So it's like you're flying back at the worst time.
I know. And here I'm in shorts, sandals, t-shirts, just free. And then you get on the plane and you go back and one in the deep freezer.
Yeah.
And I kind of said, no, let me try and see how things moves down here.
Right. How much planning and preparation do you feel like you did prior to making that final move 4 years ago?
There was some planning because you can't just pack and head out.
Yeah.
But I used to come to Uganda and do a fundraiser with the Lottery Club of Mulenga.
Oh, Rotary.
Do a lot of those Lottery clubs, and then they have very good members.
Yes.
That was a test to see how many intellectuals and people who would like my work.
Collecting art and have
so collectors, I knew that they were there, and so I would fly in and out to check that, and then I started downsizing. From the house I had in Oakville, I sold it, moved into an apartment in Mississauga, and then stored everything into the storage. Then I started coming here like 5 months, 4 months at a time.
So easy transition, not
transition,
just
so that you have to be careful because it's so different when you're in North America and then you come to Africa because the market I'm used to for all those 40 years was in North America and not here. But since the internet has been established, the whole thing is now kind of a global link.
Right.
So there was some kind of adjustment
in the beginning, and then you kind of got back on your footing.
It wasn't easy, but it was a strategic move. Where I didn't just parachute. I didn't just parachute in. I had to be careful to say, you know what, I've got to make sure that I've left something in Toronto or in North America, like dealers who are dealing in my work. I have the internet, I have all this connection around, so at least I have something to fall on. And also here, I understand a bit of marketing. It's not easy, but it's still the same thing of selling.
The same core, exactly. The same basic principles of selling. It's just slightly different.
It's different.
Little things. A great question I feel like a lot of people spend a little too much time on, or just not enough, is weighing out the pros and cons. Do you feel like you did, you dwelled on that for a very long time, or you kind of were like, no, this is definitely my end goal, this is definitely where I want to be, and then you started making the transition?
Well, I made that transition some time back because what happened that, as I mentioned, that I was flying in and out.
Yes.
So already my mind was made up. But how do I successfully transition into Uganda without going through crazy hardship?
Right.
For example, I was fortunate enough to have this estate my dad left around. It was run down.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but I had to renovate it. I had to renovate it to make sure that it was practical. And I thought of renting a gallery in town. But the rent and all that kind of stuff. Exactly.
Is a lot.
So I kind of waited and said, you know what, if I renovate this place, it's going to take me quite a bit of money. But in the end, I'm better off because I don't have rent to pay.
And that's
at the end of the month, so I can only just focus on the marketing and get into workshops that I can do. So just balance it out and see how it works. Really, it's in any country we go to, I think we have to be careful how we're going to juggle the trade between how do we survive, pay the bills, all this kind of thing.
Yes, especially because I feel like from what I always hear from my parents' generation, that the Uganda they knew then is very different than the Uganda they know now. So do you feel like even when you kind of were like, I'm going back, because you had been coming back and forth, you had already seen the changes anyway, so you were acclimatized to that? Do you feel like
Uganda, the one I left was totally different.
Yeah.
So remember, I left during Idi Amin's regime.
Right.
So things were really different. We couldn't sell work here. We had to go to Nairobi. And that's why...
You couldn't sell here at all?
No, because once Amin came in power,
right.
The tourists were no longer coming here.
Right.
And you know, art and tourism and money, they move together. Art moves where money is. And that's why I moved to Nairobi. And I was there for 4 years before migrating to Canada.
Okay.
Because there was nothing here left.
Right.
So we had to go to Nairobi, where the tourist market and, the market which was still functioning.
Right.
And it was more of that, but now when I go back after almost in the 21st century, whatever, and you find that things have shifted. There's been a lot of change. There's a whole new generation I didn't leave behind.
That's true.
And when I left, musicians were not really that much important.
That's
but now you have a whole generation of rappers. People like Chameleon, Baby Cool, Bobby Wine, Sheba, all these, and they're making money there because they are now more global because of the social media.
Yes.
So some of these people can afford to buy my work. So it's a different kind of market.
Very different climate.
The climate is very different. I think the climate is throughout the world.
Yes,
it's always changing. Look at the US after Donald Trump.
Yes,
and after now, they're going into Biden. We don't know how far that is going to shape out.
Right.
Yeah. So it's always this changing dynamics.
It's always changing. Evolving.
And Uganda, it's changing, and it's there. It moves. You have to roll. You have to roll with the punches. As the going says.
That's true. So how long did it take for you to feel like you had fully settled in, like you were feeling like you're at home now?
It took me at least a year and a half, I would say. Even up now, I'm not settled in.
Yeah.
Because it's I call it it's a timeline.
Yes.
Because I've been coming in and out, and so I was familiar with the system much better.
Yeah.
I'm one of these people who don't drive in Kampala.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me, and I found that so interesting.
I have reason for it because, of course, people may say I'm a coward. But when you're used to North American highways and the rule of the highway code, and then you're coming to something totally different, where your mirror can be taken off, the borders are like bees all over the place.
All over any direction.
I just freeze and I'm going to kill somebody. So I use the border. I use these vans, the matatus. If I'm going up country, which I always do, then I drive. Because I do drive, but I always leave my car at home. And I only drive it long distance. On the highway, there's less traffic.
There's less traffic, and they're actually quite nice. Like the ones that are done, I'm like, smooth
sailing. Smooth sailing.
No problem.
You go out of the city. When you're out of Kampala, it's okay, but downtown, the traffic, the number of cars.
So I don't drive downtown.
Yeah, it's just for me. That's not driving for me.
Yeah, like you.
But the natives, the Ugandans who have stayed here. For them,
it's normal.
they also complain about traffic and how crazy it is. I'm like, wow, if you can complain, what about me?
I know, imagine.
So that was the kind of a challenge maybe I made. Settling in.
Okay.
And of course time to see where, especially the framing. I had problem with framing, buying the framing materials because all my framing is North American standard. So I can't compromise my work.
Right, just because
I've moved here. So mostly here they have a lot of plastic frames.
Yeah, and I realized that at crazy pricing, and I'm like, but it's plastic. I didn't understand that.
No, plastic because it's cheaper. They get it from China.
But the price doesn't justify.
So I had to adapt after using plastic for almost, let's say, a year and a half, 2 years. Now I've switched to wood, pure wood.
Yeah, because I was gonna say these are wood though. Okay.
I had to find where they buy wood blocks here
Right,
and
then
get a
start
good carpenter to cut out the frames, the size I want, the color scheme I'm going to use. And I still have problem with the mat boards. Because they run out of mat boards and have to order them from Nairobi.
Oh, wow.
So those are the kind of things, little things, but it's a matter of adjusting and finding where can you get this. And that's the only challenge, but life is full of challenges.
Yeah, life is full of challenges.
And if there's no challenge,
you're not really going, you're growing.
Well, but if there's no challenge, there's no growth. So what's the fun in it? There's no fun.
That's true. We now know you have a beautiful gallery. You've always been in art. Was there anything that you knew that you wanted to start once you moved back, like different business ideas or concepts, or was it always like art was the way you were going to go?
Well, I mean, it's something which I started with because it's always been there.
Yes.
Not only that, but it's something that I always tell my friend that it's a force field that I've always operated on.
And you're passionate.
I'm passionate about it.
Being here at your showroom and obviously being an artist, what does your day-to-day look like running your business here in Kampala versus back when you were in Canada?
It's pretty different.
Yeah.
I mean, in Canada or let's say North America, there's so much means of transportation. You can either get on the plane and you're in New York, or you're in LA and you're back in Toronto, just like that. Or you can take the GO train, or you can take the subway, or you can take the buses, or you can drive.
Yeah.
But here it's mostly driving or matatus or border. So it's kind of limited. And also the resources of materials.
Right, as you were saying, like the frames.
The frames and all. And also there's certain things we take for granted.
Okay.
When we're in North America.
Such as?
I mean, there's materials where everything is accessible just like that, But then you get here and you find that, whoops, you can't buy this kind of machine, or you can't get this kind of equipment because you have to order it online or get it from...
and you have to wait.
I know you have to wait or ship it in or whatever. That's the only inconvenience I find in Uganda, or not just Uganda, even in Kenya.
So why I know I can somewhat relate to that is I'm a very DIY person. So in Canada, I'm so used to having an idea and being like, I want to do this. I'm going to go to Michael's, I'm going to go all these places and get them right now. Home Depot now. Here, not the case.
No, I mean, it's different because, I mean, look at the paints.
Yeah.
You have Curry's, you have Michael's, you have so many art stores.
Everything.
Brushes, everything you need. And here, especially when I'm teaching the Modern Batik technique, where I need dyes, I need brushes, I need these inks, I need calligraphy paints. Well, they're not here.
Okay.
Because this is totally a market where they don't do these things. Not because they can't afford them, but they don't need them right at this point of time. Whereas in North America, it's all over.
Yeah. Everywhere.
It's everywhere. And I found that to be more of it's still a challenge for me.
Yes.
Because some of the materials I have now, whenever I hold workshops in East Africa or even in Uganda, this is the Modern Batik technique.
Yes.
I still have to go to Toronto whenever I fly there and stock up.
Like a whole stock
I
of
have
things.
to do stock up because then I can't teach workshops here with the kind of materials I need. I can get fabric here, I can get wax, rice cookers because they have supermarkets. So those are standard. But there are certain materials which you can't get here, and that's what I found to be a little disappointing and tough to go over. And also a number of things. I mean, especially like power. Power goes off quite a lot unless you have solar panels who hold enough. So there's certain things which in North America, if power went off, that should be a huge storm taking up a whole grid.
And it's usually in the winter and in some ice storm, but like just general. Even today when you were like, there's a notice that power may be gone. I'm
it will be gone. But power goes every day in Kampala. I mean, it's a no.
It's a no.
You go in Kampala and you find that the generators running in the malls, and you go like, whoa. This, if you don't have a generator,
then you have there's nothing.
It's
darkness. Sit there in the dark with your products.
So those are the kind of things that you have to adapt to. I think when you're in the developing countries, because we do have those challenges in the developing countries. It's everywhere in some developing countries. So it's something you have to adapt to.
You just go with it.
You just go with it.
How else has it been doing business in Uganda?
It's been tough, I would say, because you see, in marketing, It's a numbers game.
Yes, yes.
The more people you have, like if you have 350 million Americans and you have 40 Canadians,
Right.
that's almost 400 million people.
Right.
Now, out of 400 million people, give me 100,000 of those guys.
Yeah, and you're good.
And I'm good. But when you change the tables and you come into Uganda, where capitals, people are making this kind of money.
That's the thing. That's
so
the issue.
you have to focus on the elites.
Yes.
And
Not numbers.
the number shrinks down, and the population, of course, is like 45 million. But out of the 45 million,
How many can
how many
afford?
can afford a piece for, let's say, 1 million or 2 million?
Right.
Now, 2 million, unfortunately, is $600.
Yeah, I
Now,
know.
in North America, I was selling much higher than that. In fact, my prices are higher when you go to the internet.
Right.
Because the internet is mostly for the market in North America.
North America.
That's why
okay.
all my pieces are in dollars.
Okay, yes.
So that's the challenge, which
Yes.
is still ongoing, and I think it's going to be there for quite some time. But I think I've got to expand into other markets like in Rwanda, Kenya,
Yes.
Dubai, South Africa.
Yes.
And
South
yeah,
Africa.
South Africa has got again some good market there.
Right.
But those are the challenges which within time I have to adjust
Right.
and deal with it.
Right.
Yeah, because it's not like I'm gonna go, oh whoops. And then I have to go back to Toronto or to Canada.
Go figure it out.
I mean, I could fly there.
Pre-COVID,
anytime,
it was
anytime.
easy.
Yeah, I mean, I fly in and out,
Yeah,
no problem.
yeah.
But again, I don't like the jet lag and the trip. It's too long.
You even say you take the bus to Nairobi, you're like fly. Why? I'm like, wow.
No, in East Africa, I don't fly unless I have to fly.
Yeah.
Because when I fly, I don't see anything. And the other thing is, I've been flying for so long.
Yeah.
When I was in North America, that flying, I used to fly from Toronto to Uganda and back. I could fly like twice, 3 times in a year.
Right. Okay.
And then I fly to LA. I fly to Europe, Japan. And it becomes where I don't want to be 40,000, 30,000 feet up there for 9-10 hours.
Right, okay.
It's crazy.
Fair enough.
You
And
know?
it's draining.
It's not draining, but it's not really healthy.
That's what I mean, it's draining.
I don't like it. Because, I mean, you're up there, you have to come down. One way you come down, okay, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But on the bus, you're on the
like
ground.
smooth sailing.
And the other thing that when you're traveling from Uganda into Kenya, in East Africa, the landscape, the scenery is awesome.
I can only imagine. I should do it once.
Oh,
At least
man,
once.
it's absolutely gorgeous. You go through the Rift Valley, you see wildlife as you pass through all the way to Mombasa. All the way to Mombasa. Tanzania, you see Mount Meru, Mount Kilimanjaro. Oh, I just love it. I just love the country, driving or bus, trekking within East Africa. It's really cool. Love it.
You're the only one who sold me on at least I should do it once. At least once.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good.
Comfortable bus, nice bus.
Yeah, they have these
The
coaches.
music good, right? Okay.
They have these new coaches which you stretch your leg,
Okay,
put on your
okay.
music. You have your music, headphones, and check it out.
Yeah. Only person to sell me on that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, maybe because I'm an artist too.
Right.
To me, that is really, it's almost like
adventurous part of it.
In Kampala, one of the things I find very exciting is moving around, walking from here to Kampala. I pass through the slum areas, those ghettos.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You see how life really is.
Yeah.
People are cooking here, dogs are sleeping here, chicken.
Dancing
They have
over
those little habitats. They have their environment. Various things that you go like, wow, look at this. Life still goes on, they're happy, and they're working.
That's true.
And then you move out of it, you go to Kololo, you go to
different
Nakasero,
life,
different level, then you go to the car park, and it's all
The car park is the craziest place.
It's life.
The taxi parks are too much, but it is life. It's the day-to-day
I mean,
life.
it's like being in New York on down in Manhattan on the let's say 42nd and 3rd Street,
Right.
It's always packed, a lot of people.
Yeah.
But in a different format.
Organized chaos, their own version of organized chaos.
Exactly. And you go to the car park here or Chikubo. Down there.
I'm always down there. People are like, why?
I mean, all your senses come alive because you can't
of them.
Well, pickpockets will rip you off. You just walking,
You have to be on your on your A game the entire time.
Yeah, but that's exciting too because it's a totally different environment. You know?
It is.
It is. It's fun.
It is. How have you adjusted with the pace of doing business in Uganda? Because it's very different than obviously what we're used to. Like even with, you mentioned getting materials, it's not immediate. So how has
the pace is very slow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about it. It's like you're doing 100 miles an hour.
100.
And then you come here and you're doing 40 miles or 30 miles an hour. I mean, because everything in North America can be chop, chop, chop,
very chop.
And here is like, especially in my field, in the arts, it's you have to look for clients who are intellectuals.
Yes.
Because art is very, very selective.
It is selective.
Not everybody that I have a big house, I have cars, can really understand
or appreciate
art.
Yeah.
And so you have to really do your homework.
Right.
You've got to, and also you have to use a networking system. I have a number of my clients who have bought my work. They have them in their homes. So those really make very good advertising people for me.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth. They send me people here. I have catalogs. Again, brick and mortar, because the internet, it doesn't want that well in here very much.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Until like 10 years.
Yeah, people will go on Facebook, on WhatsApp and all this, but they don't really go on websites. No, but they don't go on websites.
No, they don't go on websites, no. But
very few of them.
Yeah. Facebook, I feel like it's a very heavy, I had heard it's a very heavy culture here because it's, I don't know if it's free or something. If you don't have MBs, you can still access Facebook, something along those lines. So I think that's why.
Well,
but it's
Facebook
still different than a website.
Well, Facebook also is more of like a tabloid.
Yeah.
So people like to gossip. They're just
they're always on there.
That's WhatsApp. And if people post on anything, it's what's seen, it's trendy.
Yeah.
But websites are people who are like interior designers. I could get like hotels. I put some of my work in hotels like Serena.
You showed me beautiful.
Yeah, Shelton. I have a number of high-end residential people who are building nice homes and they want to have that work into their decor.
Right.
So that's why I was saying that I need to expand work into Kenya, Nairobi.
Right.
Because it's a more sophisticated market, I think, than Kampala.
They're like ahead of they're ahead of us in that.
Yeah, I mean the city's bigger and
more
they haven't had these political coups.
Okay.
Like we have gone through from Amin, Obote and all this.
Right.
So they've been on mostly smooth sailing.
Okay.
Then there's I picked up a lot of clients in Kigali.
Okay.
Yeah, Rwanda, they have very sophisticated Rwandese who buy work.
Right.
And what I found about was more of their culture with the French. Because they have this French influence. Yeah, which is the high society there. They have fine wine, nice clothes, like Paris, you know, that kind of thing. So those who like art buy it because they like that environment. In Uganda, yes, we do have in Uganda some people, intellectuals that I've run into who really
appreciate.
They appreciate.
Yeah.
Now that is the challenge I have in a slow market like this.
Yes, okay.
That you have to find your way to stay afloat. But also I do workshops, which I've started to pick up. Okay. Usually I fly back to Toronto
to do the workshops,
or the US to do workshops every summer, not winter, because that's the first thing. Why I don't want to go back.
I don't want to see that.
Winter. No, I don't want to. Because
we're done with that.
Yeah, there is summer. I can always fly there in summer. Not only that, but summer camp for me work in North America because that's when the students are in holidays.
Right, yeah.
So I can have them there in their holidays, 3 months, and then
they go off back to school.
Yeah, the moment September come up and those leaves turn orange and yellow, I did. Because I know what's coming after that is nothing exciting.
Not at all.
But if I was a skier or ice skating, yes, it's good. But I'm none of those.
But even if you are, even the people I know in Canada who do enjoy those things, they're not doing it every weekend. So it's like, most of the time you are still miserable.
I don't even want to go out. I remember I have to shove my snow, my driveway.
Yep. Shove your driveway, defrost your car, all of these things.
And then on the highway, it's like dangerous.
It's a free-for-all.
Everything. So winter, no. I don't like. I like winter snow when I'm indoors.
Yeah, and you can appreciate.
I'm sipping my coffee or tea, and it's snowing. I'm like, excellent. I'm indoors.
Nice.
But being out, no,
absolutely not. Being in Uganda, how has it been, because you mentioned you have daughters, I know they're grown, they're about my age. How has it been being away from Canada, and do they come often to visit you? Like, how has it been kind of like juggling family?
We regard the family. I mean, my firstborn daughter, Natasha, has been to Uganda about twice.
Okay.
And she was here about 4 years ago.
Okay.
So she came in and we went, this time we flew to Rwanda.
Nice.
Took Air Rwanda to Mombasa.
Okay. Oh, you guys did a tour.
Yeah. So then we used the bus to come back. Because she wanted to see the Rift Valley.
How you must have sold it to her like you sold it to me.
Because flying you don't see anything. So she said, Dad, I want to see what you always tell me, the Rift Valley. I read about it, the whole thing. I said, okay, we'll fly in and then take the bus coming through. She had a great time.
Oh, that's so nice.
Really, I mean, she was like, yeah, down the road I would like to come back. I said, yeah, sure, because everything's here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know that they're in very professional professions, like so have they ever mentioned like they could possibly come, or like they're kind of like, oh, we'll just come visit you, Dad, like?
Well, I mean, I think within another 2, 3, 4 years, let's see how things shape up. I think they should be able to come and stay maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
Even like develop something here.
Yeah, so something where you can just come back and check on it.
Because they're in professions which are really demanding.
They're demanding, they need to be there.
Jennifer, the last born, she's a chemical engineer.
Yes,
and she's in that industry.
Yeah,
Natasha is into medicine.
Yes.
So they get really tied up there. But I told her that you can come and practice medicine here as well, and help your people at home.
Yes.
And she loves that.
Yes.
So I think it's just a matter of time. And we don't know how long North America is going to stay that stable too. Because things are changing pretty fast. Yeah, things are changing pretty fast because with artificial intelligence coming into play, jobs, everything, we don't know. I mean, globally, we don't know how COVID has changed the whole reset.
Exactly.
So we may find that some of these our youth, the young people, they may have to come to developing countries to develop them because they're developing countries.
Yes.
There isn't really much they're going to do, or I'm going to do in North America by going back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, if I go back, what else am I going to develop there?
That's what I always wonder. Everyone's like, just come back. I'm like, but you want me to stay for months and to do exactly what?
Well, I can do a lot in Uganda and in Kenya. Because they need that information I have.
Yes,
and I can empower the next generation.
Yes.
But in North America, at least I have technology going to Mars. Then I can really be there. But if I'm not going to Mars or the moon, I'm just going to be in a workforce, just like anybody else. And I'd rather be here in Uganda.
Impactful.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to do. There's so
much to do. It's like
so much. And they need like my intellectual property that I've accumulated all these years.
Yes.
So I can teach, I can instruct, and pass on that information to the next generation, which is really very important to me.
Yes.
And it's a thrill to do it while I can still do it.
Yes, exactly.
Because very few artists have that opportunity to ever pass something to the next generation. Because most of them we just knock off and you go with everything with it to the grave, but here at least I've been doing it in North America and I'm doing it here, so that really makes my life worth living. It's a certain point.
Okay. So last question I have, more so on like the personal side. Having spent a significant amount of time in Uganda and having spent a significant amount of your life in North America, how has it been being back and finding like-minded individuals or people who kind of understand, where your mindset is at and whatnot?
Well, there are quite a number of people, funny enough. I mean, Ugandans are very interesting people, including myself. They find me interesting. I find them interesting. They pick up things pretty fast.
Yes.
Generally, they're very nice people. And I think it's all a mindset or attitude.
Yes, it is.
If you got the right attitude to it,
that's very true.
You can swim through very easily.
Yes.
Because I find like the border guys, they're all my buddies.
Yeah.
Because they tell me where not to go, not to move at night.
Yeah.
This kind of, because they're always around. They say, no, don't take that guy. That guy drinks alcohol while he rides the bike. So stay away from him. Stay away from these people. This kind of thing. So it is your character, your personality,
That's very
which
true.
really, I think in any country.
Yeah, any country.
There are
any
some
country.
countries which are weird.
Yeah.
So maybe it's to do with racism,
Okay.
those kind of things.
Okay.
And they don't want to interact with you. That's a
Yes,
different case.
okay,
But
good point.
in Uganda, being a black person,
Everyone's a black person.
and I speak Luganda too, because I
Yeah.
never lost my mother tongue after
Right.
all those years outside. So I can blend in very well.
Okay.
Though they can sometimes trace. And
Yeah,
they
I was
know
gonna ask that next.
Yeah, and they say, you seem like you're
You've been
weird.
outside for a long
Yeah,
time. That's what they always
kind
ask.
of like, come off weird. What's wrong with you? You know
That is so
how
funny.
you shape your words.
Yeah.
And how you package
Even
them.
as speaking Luganda, yeah?
Even in Uganda, they can tell the way I package my words.
Yeah.
And they go like, okay, you speak our language, but you haven't been here for some time.
Yeah.
Okay, jack up the price for you.
I know. And what I find is that they'll have nice conversations with you and then jack up their price. So they want to make it. And I'm like,
They're very interesting, aren't they?
Yeah.
You go to buy something like, hi, how you doing? Everything is nice. By that time, they're figuring you out.
yeah.
This price, no, this one should pay three
Even
times.
more.
3 times.
Jack it higher.
Yeah, just
In
higher.
Canada, even higher.
Yeah. You're acting strange. Why are you strange?
It's so interesting. So you've also mentioned before that there have been a few people from your generation who've come back. Do you feel like you connect with them often, or you kind of just see them as, through, whether you're networking or, just...
Well, there are a number of people who come back, and some we do talk about it.
Okay.
We do meet.
Yeah.
Some come back and they really go through some bad experience.
Yeah, often. and
Because I've had those who have come back and
I feel for
after
them.
2 years they can't handle it and they go back.
Yes.
And there's some who
So
have come
sad.
back. I know it's very sad, but there are those who have come back here and they've
Never looked back.
They've built homes, no more mortgage, no more of that.
No stresses, the
no
daily
stresses.
stressors.
Well, the thing is that you
Well,
have
not
to
stresses, but they're not
you
those
have to do what you have to live in your means.
Yes, yeah.
Because this is no longer North America.
Yes, your income is not the same, and I think that people...
Not only the income, because there everything is credit.
Yes.
It's a credit society.
Slight-
You want a car? Okay,
Slight-
how much are you making a month? I mean, you bring up your tax receipts
Yeah.
from your Revenue Canada
Yeah.
and say, oh, he's making enough money. He can afford to
Buy
lease,
this, yeah.
to rent a car. But the moment you can't pay, the car is gone.
It's not
The
yours.
same thing with a house. You can have a mortgage, 30 years, you're tied in there. We last hear people buy cars cash.
Cash.
They
Houses,
build their
cash.
houses, may take them 3-4 years, whatever. Slowly by slowly, they buy land, they own the land and own the house. Now you can't beat a person like that when you're in North America.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no way.
no.
And that's something I used to see when I used to fly in. I would be like, what's wrong with this picture?
What's going on?
This is the kind of lifestyle I want to live in North America, and these
Right.
people already have it.
Here.
They don't have a mortgage. They own the land.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather.
They have space.
There's the space. Beautiful weather. Organic food.
Yeah.
GMO, winter, and mortgage. Something wrong with
What's
this
going
picture.
on?
Something wrong with this picture.
I know.
So, as I said, every country has its problem.
thing, yeah.
Its problem.
That's very true.
And that's why I was saying that I have nothing wrong with North America. It's a beautiful
no,
place,
it's beautiful.
but it has its problems.
Yes. I think my main one was just it got boring after some time. But other than that, it's not. It's a beautiful place to live if you want like a whole package of things. I guess.
Well, again, it's money.
Yeah.
It
That's
moves
what
on money. It moves on money.
That's what I meant.
You want to fly to Florida, you want to go to visit this, it's money.
Yeah.
The more you have of it, the more
Yes.
you enjoy it.
Yes.
The less you have of it, the more you work like a little donkey to make
So
it
you
work.
get it, yeah.
But I mean, here we have to work. But there's certain things here which you
Just
can
different.
actually focus on, like buy a small piece of land. Because land is still affordable.
Right.
And build on a small house.
That's true.
Which
and
you
just build
own,
up.
so that if you get sick or you're out of job, you have shelter.
Yeah.
In North America, you're on welfare.
Right.
They have welfare here. There's no welfare. When you screw up, you're going down the streets. Unless you have family safety net.
Yeah.
but that's the difference.
Yeah, it is.
So
it's
each
true.
country, each place has its own problems.
Yes, it's
nothing
very
is
true.
perfect.
Nothing is
It's
perfect.
perfect.
But I like how here you're closer to a sense of balance, in my eyes anyways, in some sense.
Well, for me, there are certain things I value in life. Like the pollution here, if you're out of Kampala.
Oh, out of Kampala.
Pollution is zero.
Yeah, I thought you meant
No, Kampala because of the traffic. Like any city, like Canada.
And
Look at Toronto.
Toronto,
pollution.
yeah, I know.
New York, California, pollution everywhere.
It's
China,
just-
London, you name it. But here, because we don't have that much population, if you're out in the country, out of the city, fresh air, organic food.
Yep.
The pace is slower.
Yes.
And also, you can have certain things which can keep your peace of mind
Yeah.
a bit intact. I mean, there is this whole rat race. I was
It's
in
a
the rat
rat
race.
race,
I was in a rat
yeah.
race. In North America, I know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, the 401, the QW, the 403. You're just
Our
like,
highways were just there.
I know, it's just like every morning you're all going in and going, what's wrong with this picture?
And crazy traffic too, because we do have that crazy traffic.
You're
and
in and out. You spend 3-4 hours commuting
One
every
way.
day. And you add that a whole year,
Yeah.
and you find that you're spending
Exhausted.
almost 2.5 months of your time on the highway driving.
Driving.
I mean, that's nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's nuts. You know. So when you change places and you come here and you go like, okay, they have problems here. We don't have this and that, but at the same time,
They're not-
it is how you pace yourself.
Yeah, the pace.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you
not
can
the rat
pace-
race. You
yeah.
just slow down. I like that part. Segueing out of this video, just want to ask a few more questions. What is your favorite thing to do in Kampala, or in Uganda in general?
Well, as I said, I love walking through
Yes.
those little villages.
Yes.
And some of the slum area.
Okay,
I just
see.
love it. I just love it because
I like that.
you get a sense of reality which is different.
Yeah, it's a different reality.
Yeah, it's a different because
Yeah.
not only that, but the way Uganda, Kampala is set up, it's like a village within a city. You're passing through.
Yeah,
They have
actually.
mangoes,
Yeah.
avocado trees here, jackfruit,
Yeah.
banana plantation. There are goats, there are chicken, dogs, everything. Everything is moving around, and you're just like a stranger passing through because they don't know you.
Yeah.
They've never seen you, but you're just passing through
Just
time,
walking through.
and you see all the things taken, and it brings you that sense of that wow, we're really visitors on
In
this
our
planet,
own- yeah.
on planet Earth, because
Yeah.
you witness all this, and I like that part.
That's
The other
very
part I
true.
like is also hiking. I love hiking.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I love hiking. So I hike on Sundays when I have time, or Saturdays. I hike through Kampala, go on the hilltops.
Okay.
Because Kampala has got a lot of hilltops.
So many, and they're
And
just
the
so gorgeous.
view is
It's
just
everything.
overwhelming. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, I like those. I don't go out at night that very much.
Yeah, you mentioned
I'm
that.
not-
You're like, by 6, I'm in my house. I'm
Yeah,
like, wow.
usually, even in North America, I never used to go out
Oh,
that
okay,
much.
okay.
I'm kind of a home person.
Okay, it makes sense.
Because once I have my internet, TV,
You're good to go.
cook my food, or people on the phone, WhatsApp.
Yes,
What am I doing
that's
outside?
true.
And I can chat with these people. The ones I want to see, I can go and see them during the day.
Yeah, that's true.
So at night, I prefer to be home.
In your
Home is always safe for me.
That's
always
true.
been, yeah.
That's true. So if you can name one thing you miss the most about Canada, what would that be?
One thing I love about Canada is the transportation.
Yes.
The people are good. I don't mind people. I don't know. I can't trash
Yeah,
people. And
yeah.
You see,
They keep to themselves more.
I've been to so many places where some people don't even want black people there.
Yeah.
You can sense
That's
it, you know.
true.
So Canada can't say, oh, this and that. No, I mean, Canada was free to do whatever I needed to do. And but it's one thing if I compare Uganda or East Africa or Africa as a whole to North America, it's the ease the way transportation has been solved.
Right. Yeah.
Especially in the West, because Japan is the same thing.
Yes.
Transportation is just,
Easy.
I mean, they have this Shinkansen, you can move by train, go almost anywhere.
So easy.
But in what I've found out in North America, that you're either driving, you're either staying in the subway, or the GO train, or you can fly like Toronto to Ottawa.
Right.
Those shops, you can hop there easy. Now, if we had that kind of thing here in East Africa, I could be in Nairobi or Mombasa within 2 hours.
That would be so nice.
You see, I could be in Kigali, I could be in South Africa by just being on the ground, just taking the bullet train or something like that. But unfortunately, we don't have
some more options.
So I miss that so much. In terms of convenience with food, there's lots of food here. It's so fresh. It's so fresh. So food, I don't really miss the food in North America.
Right.
No,
so you could say that's the least thing that you're worried about. You're like,
in fact, when I go back to Toronto,
don't tell me you're gonna
when I fly, I have problem with eating that food.
Yeah.
Because it's McDonald's, Kentucky, double burgers, and it's not fresh.
That's true.
And it's so Gmo. You go to the supermarket and you look at all this nice food, but unless you go to Whole Food Market, which is so expensive. Yeah. But here I can just get it anywhere.
Yeah.
I can even grow it myself. That's the beauty about it.
That's the beauty. Literally.
So I miss transportation. The ease of transportation and also the communication as well. That their phones system works.
Yes.
Here we have problem with the phone.
Always
There is always bad network.
Something
So sometimes I get frustrated by that. But and also the phone could be expensive too here. I find that the internet is more expensive.
Do you find it is for your phone?
Well, I mean,
home internet.
The home internet is expensive for most Ugandans.
For the average Ugandan, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And even phone is expensive because if you look at North America, you have only one phone.
Yes.
To call everybody.
Right.
And you're not charged that I called Airtel.
It's the same.
Yeah. So here, if I have MTN and I call Airtel, they take all my money, which is on there. So I must be with MTN to MTN.
Right,
and that's why you find people have got 3 phones. And I go like, well, I'm gonna lose all of them.
Yeah, we have all these phones.
Yeah, because I'm used only to one line, which calls everybody. So those are the little things I find sometimes I find uncomfortable.
Right.
But the rest is I can swim through.
Right. Okay.
I'm pretty positive about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now when it comes to Uganda, what's one thing you can do without? If you were like, I could just let go of this.
With Uganda, something I can't do without.
Like you're just like, I literally don't need this. I like that you have to think so hard.
No, because it's
or you have too many options. I don't know.
No, because it's a great area. What that I can't do without.
My thing is the dust. If I could have no dust every day, life would be beautiful.
Okay, true. Okay, you got that. I mean, the dust, yes. Because that's what I was going through my mind, saying, there's certain things I can look at, but dust is something I don't like.
No,
because it gets into everything. Nobody gets into everything.
Your nostrils, your bags,
your
equipment. Oh my God,
the house. If you leave the windows open, you find that there's a dust.
Thin layer of orange.
Yeah, I don't like dust.
Yeah,
I don't like that. That's why I prefer to be in the villages because villages there's no dust. It is within
at all, or it's not as much.
My village is not far. My village isn't dust because there is no cars moving around.
Oh, okay. And
but the dust is in Kampala.
I need to get out of Kampala.
If you're somewhere in Ginger, in the villages, well, they have this little path, and the roads are far from the villages where they have all these plantains, whatever my talk is. So there's no really dust there. The dust is in Kampala where the roads are not paved properly. So the dust just goes out there.
Oh, okay. So I can get out of this. All right, I got you.
I agree with you. There's the dust. I can do. That's something I would like not to do.
Yeah. Besides the weather, what's the most favorite thing you feel like you absolutely love? Like if you were to tell somebody to come to Uganda, what was the one thing you'd tell them?
The weather and the food.
And the food, okay.
And maybe the people, but I can deal without people for some time. But the food, the chicken. Yeah. Remember the chicken in the supermarkets in Canada?
Yeah.
With all their fat skin.
Yeah.
Here, the skin is so tasty here.
Forgot about
the
that.
chicken is organic. The food, I mean, when I eat tomatoes, I can taste the tomatoes. I can taste the chicken. I can taste the yams. I mean, everything is fresh.
Yes, yes.
In fact, I don't freeze my tomatoes. I leave them out in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
I only freeze things I need to put in the fridge.
Okay.
The rest of these I just put because I'm buying every day.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So
It's
yeah,
easier
I
to
buy
every day
every day because I just go to the market and I get fresh onions, tomatoes, and all those things fresh every day. So I just restock every day. So I don't have to put them into the freezer. I mean in the fridge to sustain them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the beauty.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And if I'm eating like tilapia from Lake Victoria, it's all fresh.
And it's so good. Very true.
And the weather is beautiful.
Yes.
Because it rains and the sun comes out.
The very last question I have for you. What 3 pieces of advice would you give someone moving back to Uganda or moving to Uganda, period?
Let me see. The first one would be do your research. Where you're going to live.
Yes.
Find out which area you're going to live in because some areas can be a bit noisy.
Right.
Because they could have bars and all this stuff.
That's true.
And then you go to sleep at night.
Yes.
Find out how much the rent you're going to pay and where you're going to live. And the third thing, do some research on how you're going to pay your bills.
Yes.
Very key. You've got to know how you have to pay your bills in Uganda. And fly in and do some research.
Prior to
prior to just moving in. It's good to do your research. Talk to people. Come and stay, let's say, in a hotel, or you can. Hotels are very expensive now. They have furnished apartments.
Yeah, Airbnbs and
so you can pay that. It's cheaper. Even if I pay 3 million shillings a month, I'm better off staying in a hotel where I'm paying about $100 a day. So when you work out, you find that you only can pay $1,000, which is about 3 million, and you have this furnished apartment. And go take a Uber or whatever.
Go see different areas.
Check out Kampala suburbs so that you can get an idea. Talk to people, do some research, and then decide to come in. And also find out how you're going to run your business. What kind of business are you into? Are you into real estate? Are you a film director, or do you want to do this kind of thing? Find out how do you get certain equipment. Let's say you run out of lights, you run out of bulbs, you run out of this. Where you go to restock such things?
Amazon? I don't know what it.
But you can always go to Nairobi. It's not very far. And the options stop. There's certain things you may not want to stay in Nairobi because it's very expensive and whatever. So you go there, restock your stuff, and come back.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us and answering our questions. I hope it's super informative for you guys and seeing a creative coming back to Uganda and making it happen. Where can people find you? What's the easiest?
People can find me on 2 sites. Actually 3 maybe. There is Zimbe Collections, which is www.zimbecollections.
We'll leave it down here.
.com. And then there is my website for the one for Modern Batik techniques. That's where I teach a lot of workshops. I have even now tutorials on it.
Oh, that's really nice.
And I've just also published my book on Amazon.
Ebook.
The ebook is called The Modern Batik Technique. So my website is www.modernbatikatworkshops.com. That's the site. But also you can go on Amazon and look for David Kibuuka. The book is Modern Batik Art Techniques. And that, when you see that, it's also linked to my website, so they're all on there.
Amazing. And I'll leave all of that information in the description box where you guys can readily find it. But other than that, thank you so much, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please do come check it out in Ntinda, the Zimbe Collections showroom. Very easily accessible, like it's right in Ntinda. Other than that, please remember, you guys, please do subscribe, hit the bell notification button. We have always informative videos for you guys on moving back to Uganda. And I'll check you guys next time. Bye.